Didn't work out like I thought it was going to, that's for sure. It almost did. It was going in the right direction. I started off right where I wanted to, got to start there, went down the bank, caught me a big one. And I was thinking, okay. And I ended up catching like two. One wasn't that big, but the other one was. The other one was my biggest one. So everything was going in the right direction. I was kind of moving along, doing my thing. And the bites obviously started getting a little bit harder to get. And then all of a sudden, I kind of had like some ideas, like some fishing stuff. And a little bit of it was obviously throwing my popping perch and throwing a swim jig in these bushes and things. But it wasn't like this pattern. It's a pattern, but it wasn't a pattern that like I could just put my head down and do it in big areas. That was a problem. I had to move around a lot. So as that's going on and on and on, I ended up catching another one on a popping perch. So where I'd caught my 7-pounder in practice, and I'll go ahead and put that video right here, I knew she was on a bed. And if you watch, I'm gonna slow it down real good. If you watch, you can see she doesn't even hit it. Like you don't even see a swirl on my popping perch. That's how soft she hit it, but it was a big one. I probably shouldn't have done that. I thought it was a grinnell. Well, I kind of knew that, and I was thinking, I didn't understand why she was where she was, because I had fished so much of that water without a bite. And it started keying in on me because like that was my first bite in practice of where I had done that. So it didn't make a lot of sense to me. So as I started messing around more and more, I started noticing where that bite was in relationship to the bushes and the trees. And I'll go into that. The deal is it's so flat and the water had just come up that most of those trees, they look like they have water in them until you get up there and you can see, and there's not much water. And so I started figuring out this, like the bushes and the trees thing, they were correlating. So I went and did it in a new section and had a 3-pounder. I saw her come out, freaking jumped all over it, pulled it down. I mean, I saw the whole thing happen. I saw her before she even hit it, and I never caught her, never even stuck her. I keep going and I pull up next to this other cypress tree because I was like, hey, let's go try that spot over there. I started hitting new stuff because I think I started figuring it out. Pulled up there, like right off the bat, caught one, like a 3-pounder. And then right after that, had another one come out of the bushes, like another 3-pounder. And I'd gotten too close to it and she saw me. So I really wasn't worried about that. Like I was like, okay, I got 3 before I even go sight fish. Well, I went down the lake, went to my first spot, and I had a big one that's been there for a couple of days now, but I needed a number 4. I figured that would be a number 5. So I went to this 3-pounder that I knew about. She would bite first cast, maybe 3.5-pounder, one there. And then there was another giant that I had seen, like a 6 or 7-pounder. She was gone. I didn't really worry about her because I couldn't really see that good in practice there, but then I could see phenomenal today, and I could tell the male was there. She was gone. I didn't even see the male in practice. As I keep going, I started noticing that I didn't know if someone had caught some of these fish, but then I went and checked on another 3-pounder and she was there. Well, I take that back. I pulled up to these bushes. 2 new ones had pulled in overnight on this other place. I saw them yesterday, and I didn't see them there in the bush, but I just flipped in the bush, and one ran out there and ate it. It was like another, like almost 3-pounder. So I was going, okay. And then when I did a circle, I saw the other fish, this other like 2.5 to 3-pounder. It's still there. So I didn't catch it because I was like, well, I don't need it yet. Not if I catch this other big one. That'll give me 5, and then I'll just kind of see what's going on. Well, I set on her, and I couldn't see, and I had to use a live scope just to even get her to, like, I could see her in there, but I didn't know if it was a big one or the male. I fished for it forever. I ended up breaking off and then ended up catching her, and it was the male. So I guess that one left. And then I looked at some more, and some of them were gone. I ended up seeing one that I got to bite in practice, first flip. I flipped on it and caught it. And so as I'm doing all this, I'm realizing that, and I had one more big one, and I set on it, a decent one, like a 4-pounder, and I set on it for a while, and I got her to bite one time, and then all of a sudden, like these, like 2 6-pounders come up in there and start rolling around, all this stuff. Look, there's a lot going on, and I sat around there because I was like, hey, one of those 6-pounders is gonna go, I got a 15-incher, it's gonna call 4 pounds. I knew what a 6-pounder would do, or at least even the 4-pounder. And I stayed there too long thinking it would happen, and nothing great happened. So I left there and checked my other 5-pounders. This is the problem. This is where I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I checked a bunch of 5-pounders. I had like 2 or 3 of them, and they're all gone. I'm not saying I could have caught them, but I didn't even see them. And the sight fishing is it's just worn me down. It really has. I'm just frustrated with it. It hasn't been what I wanted to. And what's crazy, and the sun's out now. The sun was never out on me all day long today. Now it comes out at the end of the day. You know, it'd have been nice to have that because it makes them bite better on beds. I'm not saying I'll see them any better, but it makes them bite a little bit better. Then, even like in the creek we're in, everything's clearing up. I swear I'm still a day or 2 behind. Like, I needed this to happen, you know, a day or 2 before the tournament. And it just doesn't look like it's gonna be. I took a gamble that maybe I could do this, and I think my gamble's wrong. I'm not saying I could have done great, but I think I'd have done better. So what am I gonna do tomorrow? I don't know. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing in the morning time because I always seem to get a couple bites, but then I got something different. I did have a big one blow up on a sexy dog, and it kind of ate it, kind of missed. Like, it brought it down. I kind of bowed it up for like just enough where I could feel like I got some pressure on her, but I never actually like got into her. And then I saw another 4 or 5-pounder go up like by this dock. And then I've got this other dock that I was like, man, I'm just gonna throw my palm perch in there, and like 2 3.5s came out. This all happened within less than an hour. So, and then I tried at the very end to go, I told my guy I didn't know how far, I've never fished this far away on Toledo, so I don't really know how long it took me to get back. But I ran up and flipped on this one. I said, I shouldn't have even done it, but I did. I had plenty of time, but I didn't know. I got in with like 4 minutes left. But I ran into this one spot. I said, hey, I don't even know if you're allowed to I don't even know if you can run into this because of stumps, but I ran in it. And I said, hey, I'm making one flip. And I made one flip and caught the male, and couldn't see, just made a blind flip in there and caught the male, and we left. Or I actually didn't even catch it. I just stuck it and it flew out of there. It was little, and I left. So I think I'm just gonna go put that topwater in my hands all day long tomorrow. I think I'm gonna put a frog and a sexy dog in my hands. If I see a sight fish, I've got 1 or 2. I've got that one that did bite fairly easy, that I didn't even try to fish for today because I just didn't think I needed it. It would have culled probably about a pound. So, you know, maybe I could have had 16, 12. That's probably gonna be a big deal. But in the scheme of things, I'm not worried. Like I told y'all, I'm not worried about a top 40 or a top 30. I mean, I was out there trying to go win this thing because I didn't know if I could, but I thought maybe things would change enough to maybe I had a shot. But it doesn't look like that way now. Maybe things will change tomorrow, but I'll be honest with you, I doubt it. I just don't think they will. So now I'm gonna go get something to eat. I got a long day. I was like second flight. So I was in early this morning, or I was in early today. Now I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm putting this up for y'all. It'll be up there today. Like when y'all watch this, I'm gonna be out there on the water day 2. I'm gonna see what it's like putting these things up like this. Just a little recap, a little something to let y'all know. And then what's crazy is that's what's going on in my head. So if y'all like all that, and if I catch them, cool. If I don't, cool, I guess. But let's see if like my idea pans out, or do I just change tomorrow? Like that's the thing. I might just change. I got a long day. I might change it up. Who knows? All right. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it, guys. All right. See ya.